All right. So today we wanted to give you an overview of yes, of an initiative that was led by the Paris region to support the ecosystem in building strong industrial collaborations. So it's called Pacte Quantique, and it was initiated in 2020. And in order to discuss a few of these projects, I'm really happy to welcome Marc Morer from Airbus, Théo Perronin from the startup Alice and Bob, Joseph Michael from EDF, Olivier Salomon from Allianz, and Georges Olivier Raymond from Pascal, the startup. They are all involved in one of the projects that are being supported by the Quantum Pact. So since its initiation, this co-funding scheme has led to 10 collaborations being launched on various topics. The rule is that we want to marry an industrial end user that provides the use case, an industrial use case, with experts from startups or from academic labs that are willing to collaborate together for a 2-year exploration project on this specific use case. So that's very practical. And the aim is really to foster the rise of these collaborations within this ecosystem. So it led to an overall value of these 10 projects of about 4.4 million euros. And there were 8 startups supported through that co-funding scheme. And 8 industrial end users that could provide their use case to work on that. And in order to support them in building these projects and bringing them to life, there were 3 organizations that helped them match between their industrial use case and some startups and experts. We had Le Lab Quantique, TerraTech, and GenC, the organization that I work for. And so without further ado, I will leave the floor to these speakers. Could you please all briefly introduce yourselves and present the Quantum Pact projects in which you are involved? So Marc, maybe you can start.
Yes. At Airbus, we have a guy managing the full quantum topic in Munich. And for my part, I manage the French quantum computing topic and the European. We have launched 2 years ago a Quantum Pact Île-de-France in collaboration with TerraTech and Onera. And we have chosen the company Q&Co at the beginning. And after, with the merging between Q&Co and Pascal, we have continued to work with Pascal. And we have proposed a use case about CFD, aerodynamic of a wing. The name is Aqua EDP. It is a quantum advantage to solve a partial differential equation. Is a complex subject, but we have submit a simple subject. Maybe I will explain later.
Thank you, Théo.
Yeah, so hi everyone, I'm Théo Perronin, CEO co-founder of Alice and Bob. The project, the Paris Region Finance, was called QML CAT. Well, it's about doing machine learning with cat qubits. It's always tricky to do quantum machine learning without sliding down the hype train. I mean, there are some very good reasons to be extremely optimistic about the potential impact of quantum machine learning or the application of quantum to machine learning. But it takes a bit of work to do accurate statements. And that's why we're really glad to work with INRIA, who provide the very strong academic support to this project, and with Naval Group as a potential end users for the numerous use cases you can imagine of machine learning, hopefully on steroids. The specificities here is that cat qubits are somewhat of an exotic technology. They're fast-track two-fault tolerance, but here we're really trying to see how we can leverage its specific noise bias. I mean, the fact that it has natively no bit flips for machine learning directly. So that's what we're studying through that project.
Thank you. Joseph?
Yeah, so Joseph from EDF. So we started to work on quantum a couple of years ago, 2017. So we are the early adopters that you mentioned, Michel. So yeah, and we started to work with Pascal maybe before the pack or during the pack, before the pack, even before you were creating. But really, the pack has helped us to make the match, to make the fit, and we publish a very nice paper with you guys. I guess your first paper with an industry, something like that. So yeah, it was on smart charging. So you have a fleet of electrical vehicles, and you want to optimize the charging of the vehicles in order to minimize, for example, the total charging time. So it was definitely a good fit here.
Thank you. Olivier?
Hello, everybody. Olivier Salomon. So I work at Allianz as an executive advisor for a group CIO and Allianz France COO. And the project I'm presenting today has just been launched with Multiverse Computing and IQM, and the objective is to leverage the new capacities and of quantum algorithm and quantum inspired algorithm in order to increase our capacity to detect cyber attacks. So we're not talking here about QKD or post-quantum cryptography, but we are really focusing on new ways of detect cyber attack at as early as possible.
So I'm George, the CEO and co-founder of Pascal. I'm very pleased to be here today and to see our logo on all this pack we had with partners and the industry. Applications are key to Pascal. I mean, it was a trigger to create the company 4 years ago, to have customers and applications to focus the development of a technology. Otherwise, it's just useless. So we have four packs today. One, the EDF, our first partner ever. Thank you for your trust. So working on improving the smart grid and its management. We are also working with Qubit Pharmaceutical on a use case in pharma, as the name says. Also working with Thales, more on the optimization side. And finally with Airbus and Onera to the development of computational fluid dynamics, one of the holy grail in the industry. And I think that the fact that we have four development in progress reflects the fact that we have processors with the qubit numbers and let's say how to use them to make applications. I think it reflects that. We do not need, as of today, a further breakthrough to start implementing a real-world use case, and I think it's quite new in the sector, meaning that the industry can start their quantum journey as of now.
Thank you. And so congratulations, Allianz, IQM and Multiverse on the successful launch of the project, which was announced today. Because it's a new field that hadn't been explored through the Quantum Pack earlier. So I have a question for our industrial partners here. What was the motivation for your company or organization to start digging into quantum computing? Because it could be, and it has been seen by a lot of people as a bit early.
Yes, we have started in 2015. We have a lot of problems to solve, and some we have found solution, but we want to go deeper. And other problem, we have no solution to solve it, and we are pragmatic. We are doing something with computer and manually for the other part, with a lot of hypotheses. It's for that quantum computing is very interesting for us to solve this set of problems we have. And we think that we could solve it in the future using the quantum computer. And we have a lot of use cases, industrial use cases. We have already launched a challenge in 2018 with some standard use case. We have simplified this use case. For that, we have no IP on this use case. It is a standard use case, a lot of about optimization. And we search people to solve this problem. And for sure, it's not the role of Airbus to build computer, to do algorithm, to have code, and is more we are user, and we search partnership to solve this. For that the pack, the quantum pack is very interesting for us.
Thank you. Joseph, for EDF?
Yeah, so maybe you need a little bit of a context. So EDF R&D is about 2,000 people working in almost every domain except pharma, I think. We work on all the scientific domains that use scientific computing, that uses HPC. So we are really involved in the HPC community. So if quantum computing is to arise, we likely to be one of the first clients. That being said, we had to build our religion on quantum computing. So we had to understand in which domain it will have an impact, how it will have an impact. And that being said, you have to build up a knowledge in-house, because if we wait 5 or 6 years to build this knowledge, to hire people, it will be too costly. So we had to train the people. And one thing that has to be said is that we have to develop ourselves our codes. We have to demonstrate to regulatory agencies that we do have the full control on what we are doing. So we have to develop ourselves the algorithm. We have to understand them. We have to understand the outputs, and that's why it takes time. So that's why we started 5 years ago.
Thank you. Olivier, about Allianz?
Well, the insurance sector is a very computer intensive. And as the quantum technologies are maturing, we're seeing more and more application domains in which we could leverage the expected power of quantum computers in order to be more efficient. And so we can, for instance, talk about a risk assessment, predictive modeling for climate change, or underwriting, scenario modeling, and of course cybersecurity, because cyber threats are increasing with time. And as the journey to move to quantum computer is very new, very complex. It's very important to take it seriously right now in order to build the relevant competencies internally, and also to really engage with the ecosystem in order to have to talk to the right person that can help us build these quantum capabilities.
Thank you. So it can be seen as an extension of your HPC culture, your numerical simulation culture, the fact that you have problems that you can't solve using classical means, the need to train internal, to acquire skills internally to be able to tackle these topics. And I also wondered, so that would be for our startups, our startup experts there, how was the quantum pack setup interesting for your organization compared to another kind of collaboration? Maybe Georges, if you want.
Okay. Yes, I can start. It's that simple. I mean, having the support of the pack can make the difference between a partner who wants to collaborate but who doesn't have the resources to do so, and having the support is just enough, to shift the balance on the right side. And it's a small thing, but it's instrumental at the end of the day.
Okay, so it made it happen.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, and for you, Theo?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the industrial partner, but I mean, what I think the pack is achieving here is offering us a setup where we have kind of a longer time frame where we can dig deeper into some projects together and basically get to know each other. So it's a great way to start a partnership and get an industrial player sort of quantum, wouldn't say savvy, but develop its appetite for quantum for sure, so that we can later go further deeper in a more full-fledged commercial partnership.
Okay, and so how did you all get to choose your partners in this collaboration? Maybe Olivier, if you want to start.
Yes, well, actually, they choose me. So, but maybe because by the past we start connecting with the main startup in the ecosystems. So on one side, on the algorithm side, we have multiverse computing. We have developed a key expertise in quantum algorithm and quantum inspired algorithms with very good results in the financial sectors. That was for us a very good choice. It is a very good choice for us in order to make that project happen. And the other side, on the hardware side, I would say there is IQM. Which is also one of the key players in Europe that build quantum hardware with a very ambitious roadmap on superconducting qubits, and so it was also interesting for us to work with them. So thank you for choosing Allianz for that project. Thanks.
Okay, Theo, how did you choose your partners?
Yeah, so I mean, we have a lasting relationship with INRIA. I mean, we're kind of it's part of our birth history. So it's definitely our go-to when it comes to theory support. So that was quite obvious. And then the general industry is very interesting for us. So Naval, as an industrial player with such well-rooted problems in engineering, was a perfect fit for us. So yeah, I mean, it offers a wide variety of types of use cases you can think of, and machine learning can address many of them.
Okay, and so the three of you have been partnering in various projects. So maybe you can answer jointly to these questions. How did you choose each other?
Well, basically, what I'm looking for is a willingness to work with us. I mean, to work in quantum, because if you want to bridge the gap between the applications and the quantum algorithm, it needs some works on both sides. And for instance, we need the know-how, the expertise of a partner on the dedicated use case, basically just to avoid targeting a wrong use case, because there are plenty of difficult computing tasks, and not all of them are suited for a quantum computer. So we need that. We need also the expertise for the final benchmark, to be sure that we addressed, I mean, a real use case, and that we are also competing against one of the best classical state-of-the-art. So that was the first aspect. And the second one is the potential of a use case. What I mean by that is, do we have a potential to reach a business advantage thanks to this use case in the short term? I think it's important because it's one of the requests of a partner to deliver value as of today and not to wait for another premises or on a technical breakthrough.
Okay, maybe Joseph?
Yeah, so we don't choose, we think that we do have a role to play as EDFs to favor the ecosystem. So we don't choose necessarily the most advanced startup. So we really like to push up the startups that are maybe at its earliest stage or at a more mature stage. But anyway, we don't choose necessarily the most advanced startup or the most advanced team. What we really like is to work with partners. So we really would like to put our experts in front of their experts so that they learn from us, we learn from them, and the things are going fine. So during the packs and the other projects, that's how we managed to work, and I guess it was a good fit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Marc?
We start at the beginning due to that we have an exchange with the CEO of Q&Co at the beginning. But the most important for me was TerraTech Quantum Computing Initiative. We have worked a lot and they have proposed the Quantum Pack and also the collaboration with Vonera, and thanks to TerraTech. It was really the starting point, and after, due to that, we have this contact with Q&Co. We have launched the topic at the beginning. But it's very important to establish how to collaborate and to have some support and some legal part to work together. It is the most important.
And how did the connection with Q&Co begin?
Oh, it was more due to that we are part of the HPC ecosystem since a long time. And I don't remember exactly, maybe it was at the International Supercomputing, we have some contact. Airbus participate to all the HPC event. We have a lot of contact with a lot of people, and it's more exchanges. For that, these events are important to exchange with people, and it is maybe to start collaboration in the future.
Okay, so these networking events, basically, they really favor these collaborations. That's nice to hear. Maybe one last question. What were the main expectations that you all had coming into these Quantum Pack initiative kind of collaborations? What were the main impacts that you expected for your organization by taking part into this kind of setup? And for the projects that are a bit further, maybe down the road, what are the outcomes that you actually achieved from the ones that you expected? Maybe Georges,
if you want to. I was just looking at the names of a project, and I think we should definitely be more creative, but okay, it's a side discussion. My expectation is a clear use case, an answer, basically. A use case, an implementation on hardware, and an answer, whether it's a good use case or not, and an answer to the partner. Is there a hope for him to reach a business advantage in the coming years? And the second expectation is also, I mean, on the partner side, is to train him, to make him understand what a quantum computer is good for and how to use it. I can repeat what I said this morning with Crédit Agricole. At the beginning, I was very excited by the technical results of the project because we were matching the performances of classical computing, which in quantum computing already means something. And Ali was, calm down. I want my team to learn. I want my team to understand what we can do with the processor. It's even more important than the quality of the results. And this is something I'm also looking for. I mean, to really train and support the partners.
Okay, and so they learned from this experience with you. Okay, Olivier, what are the main expectations that you have from this ACACIB project for your organization?
Well, this environment is a unique opportunity to be able to make some project with startups from the ecosystems and to build good relationships. Regarding the project, at the very end, what we want to do is to be able to build some tools to fight cyber attacks and for a cyber security purpose in situation where we today lack very efficient tools. So this is a real use cases where we have still some difficulties because we need some way to protect our infrastructure, customer tools, services, and data. In the shorter term, I would say that this is a way to understand what is quantum computing, what is a quantum project, what does it mean to build a new quantum algorithm, to use quantum hardware, And also it's a way to test and find the most relevant use cases, because everything is not applicable to quantum algorithms. And at the very end, to be able to use the quantum computers for the most important tools where it can bring the most value.
Thank you, thank you. And for EDF?
So yeah, our final goal is to go with the energy transition. So with the energy transition, everything becomes even more complex. So we definitely need a big quantum machine to address this problem. So this is the main goal for us. But at the lowest level, what we expected at the very first is to understand the technology, to be able to code ourselves some algorithms. So it worked. So we have some guys in the team that are developing some knowledge, are developing some algorithms by themselves. So it's definitely a good outcome. The second outcome is for us to see this company that we started to work with a couple of years ago when there were 4 or 5, and see these big companies. We are really happy of that, and we need that. We really need that for the problems that we have and that we'll face during the next couple of decades.
Thank you. Theo?
So I'd say key expectations are threefold. The first one was money. Obviously, it's part of it. The second one was we are at our core NISQ non-believers, and yet here we're having a look at can the bias noise of Cat-qubit still rescue some interesting feature in noisy devices. And the last one was better understanding quantum machine learning. I mean, as we can see today, AI can no longer brute force scale. So the question is to really understand how and to what extent can quantum come to the rescue of the ceiling of scaling AI as of today.
Okay, so pushing boundaries. Marc?
We focus on 2 subjects, the industrial use case we already spoke about, and the second one is more the training, how to have in the future a quantum ecosystem with people able to develop code using quantum computer. And it is very important if you want to have a solution in the future. And we need to include the academic, the startup, all the industry to build this ecosystem. Well, here especially in France, to have a specialist, a real specialist on quantum, able to solve industrial subject.
Thank you very much. So, as I guess you all understand, we've got several projects that have been supported through this scheme, and we'll try to communicate as much as possible on the results that we get from these projects. I know that some papers have already been published, and that some people are really keen to receive some updates. So of course on the Terratech, Le Lab Quantique and the Genesis side, we'll try to also feed the ecosystem with updates from this project. So thank you very much all of you for having made it here to this round table, and stay tuned.
Thanks, Sabine.
Thank you.
Thank you.